Thank you. All right, I will call this Tigard City Council business meeting to order. City Recorder Krager, please call roll.
Councilor-elect Shaw.
Here.
Mayor Snyder.
Here.
Youth Councilor Calderon.
Here.
Councilor Goodhouse.
Here.
Councilor Newton.
Here.
Councilor Noob.
Here.
All right, I will ask our IT folks to put the flag up on the screen for a moment and then ask everyone to mute themselves, and we'll participate in the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, thank you. Council or staff, any non-agenda items tonight?
Mr. Mayor, staff do not have any non-agenda items tonight.
All right, we will move on to a very exciting part of the evening, and that is that we have two city councilors that are councilor-elect and a sitting city councilor that were both elected in the November election, and so administering the oath of office to Heidi Lube and Jeanette Shaw is our first item of business on the agenda. And we have Judge O'Brien here to administer the oath of office virtually, which I think will be the first time in the city's history where we've done that. Judge O'Brien, are you available?
Mr. Mayor, I have not seen Judge O'Brien join the meeting quite yet.
Okay, well, we may have to wait on this then, because I don't think we can act further, or should not act further, until we get him on the line and at least get Councilor-elect Shaw on board the council.
Let me see if I can reach out and get him connected. Hold on one second, please.
There he is.
I was going to say, Sam.
Judge O'Brien, are you on the line?
He's muted.
How's that?
Judge O'Brien, we can hear you. Thank you for joining us. And we have both Councilor Lube, who has been reelected, and then Councilor-elect Jeanette Shaw, that we are hoping you can administer the oaths of office to virtually. And we'll start with Heidi Lube. Are you ready?
Standing. Yes.
Good evening, Councilor Lube. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear
I, Heidi Lube, do solemnly swear
that I will uphold and support the Constitution and laws
that I will uphold and support the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America and the state of Oregon,
of the United States of America and the state of Oregon,
and the charter and ordinances of the city of Tigard,
and the charter and ordinances of the city of Tigard.
I will faithfully perform my duties to the best of my ability
I will faithfully perform my duties to the best of my ability
in the office of counselor,
in the office of counselor,
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Councilor Loop.
Thank you.
Feel free to comment if you wish.
Yeah, with me tonight, I have my husband, Brian, and my daughter, Elizabeth, and the dogs are off screen. But I just wanted to say thank you to my friends, family, and community members who believed in me and helped me with my campaign. I'm humbled and honored to represent all of Tigard as a city councilor. I look forward to working with my fellow councilors and the mayor during the next 4 years. I know that this last year has been tough on our Tigard residents, and I'm ready to help lead the city through this time. Like most of the community, I'm awaiting the day we can all be together again.
Thank you, Councilor Lube. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, and I want to apologize for my late arrival. I thought I had already joined the meeting. Apparently I had not. I needed to press one more button.
No worries.
Councilor,
Thank you. Councilor-elect Shaw now, if you don't mind.
Councilor-elect Shaw, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear
Jeanette, you're muted.
I, Jeanette Shaw, do solemnly swear
that I will uphold and support the Constitution and laws
that I will uphold and support the Constitution and laws
of the United States of America and the state of Oregon,
of the United States of America and the state of Oregon,
and the charter and ordinances of the city of Tigard.
and the charter and the ordinances of the city of Tigard.
I will faithfully perform my duties to the best of my ability
I will faithfully perform my duties to the best of my abilities
in the office of counselor,
in the office of counselor,
to which I have been elected.
which I've been elected.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, counselor.
Thank you very much, Judge O'Brien. I very much appreciate it. And here with me tonight is my husband, Jason Shaw. And due to social distancing on Zoom is Allie and Luke Shaw, my father, Robert, my twin brother, Scott, my sister-in-law, Jennifer, my nephew, Harrington, and my mother-in-law, Linda. So I just wanted to thank them for joining via Zoom and being careful and wearing masks. And I look forward to also working with my fellow city councilors, the mayor, the city staff, and being very productive the next 4 years for the Tigard residents. And I just want to thank them, look forward to us getting together socially as well soon. And congratulations to Councilor Lube.
Well, Councilor Shaw, congratulations to you. I also want to recognize the special occasion tonight, and I think it's important for our community to know that for the first time, we're pretty certain first time ever, we have a majority female city council, which I think is really awesome, and I appreciate, and I am super excited about the fact that over the last number of years, we've been able to add so much sort of diversity of perspective and thought to our city council. So I want to recognize that monumental occasion as well. Councilor Shaw, Councilor Shaw, did you want to say anything else?
No, thank you very much, Mayor. Very excited.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is to conduct the council president election. Councilor Goodhouse, I understand you wanted to make some comments.
Yes, and thank you. Fellow council members and mayor, I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve as council president these past 2 years. As you may recall, the mayor and I enhanced the duties of the council president in order to assist the mayor in his mayor duties. However, with COVID-19 and the reduction of meetings and committees means enhanced council president duties are no longer necessary. Given this and the tremendous opportunity I had while council president, I'd like to take the opportunity to share those learnings and duties as stated in the Tigard Charter, City Charter, and ask that you join me in voting for Councilor Lube as the next council president. I believe this is important to further highlight the importance of equity within Tigard. Thank you.
All right, and we are going to conduct the council president election. Normally, we would do this by ballot that is then tallied by the city recorder. We don't have that option virtually tonight, so we are going to each send the city recorder an email with our vote, and she will then come back and announce the results of that vote. So this should take 30 seconds to a minute, where we're going to be sending an email to the city recorder. City recorder, will you please let me know once you have all 5 votes and can announce the results?
I will. I'm waiting for one more.
Mayor, my email is a little slow. If you could give me 1 minute, I'm going to reboot and restart it.
Okay.
And there, it's up and running. I should be voting just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, it has been received. Councilor Luke has been elected as council president for the next 2 years. Her term will end December 31st, 2022.
Thank you, City Recorder Krager, and congratulations, Council President Lube.
Thank you. Could I just say a few words?
Of course.
Yeah, I want to thank Councilor Goodhouse for your kind words and your service as council president these last 2 years. It's been a great privilege to be chosen as our next council president, and it's my honor to assist the mayor and represent Tigard. So thank you.
All right, our next item on the agenda is public comment. Written public comments were due by 4:30 p.m. today. Call-in questions will be taken via telephone by calling 503-966-4101. The call-in number is posted on the screen. A summary of public comments received by 4:30 today included a communication from Joe Underhill about the need for COVID-19 testing for disadvantaged Tigardians, a message from Elia Kim about homeless issues for businesses that are near their storefront, and Denny Rasmussen wrote about supporting an exemption to competitive bidding process for the Cache Reservoir project. So those are the 3 written communications. Interim City Manager Nyland, I would ask that on the COVID-19 testing for disadvantaged Tigardians, can that be, if it hasn't already, can that be forwarded to our emergency management staff and make sure that the whatever we can take from that might be useful for working with public health, that be addressed? Could that be a follow-up on that?
Yes, duly noted.
And then on the homeless concerns, can that be forwarded to the police department, appropriate police department staff for follow-up?
Yep.
Okay.
I've noted that. So we'll take care of that.
All right, Mr. Nolup, do we have any callers with public comment?
Mr. Mayor, at this time, we do not have any callers.
Okay. Interim City Manager Nyland, do you have any follow-up to previous public comment?
We do not have any follow-up to previous comments, sir.
All right, we will move on to item number 5 on the agenda, which is the consent agenda. It's used for routine items, including council meeting minutes and approval of contracts or intergovernmental agreements. Information on each item is available on the city's website in the packet for this meeting. These items may be enacted in one motion without separate discussion. Council members may request that an item be removed by motion for discussion and separate action. On the consent agenda tonight is to consider a contract amendment to RCH Studios for Universal Plaza activation, design, construction, and project management. Consider a contract award for on-call water system engineer and hydrologist of record. Considering approval of a contract amendment for Fano Creek Trail alignment study, and considering approval of competitive bidding exemption and findings for the Cache Reservoir and Pump Station. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
A second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. City Recorder, please conduct a roll call vote.
Councilor Shaw,
Yes.
Mayor Snyder,
Yes.
Councilor Goodhouse,
Yes.
Councilor Newton,
Yes.
Council President Boob,
Yes.
All right, the motion's adopted unanimously. Consent agenda is approved as presented. We'll move on to item number 6 on the agenda, which is to consider a resolution appointing members to the Committee for Community Engagement. Director Robinson.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Nadine Robinson. I'm the Central Services Director. I'm here to present for your consideration resolutions to appoint 2 new members and reappoint an existing member to the Committee for Community Engagement. As background, the committee bylaws allow for up to 15 members. There are currently 3 vacancies on the committee as a result of 1 member's term expiring, 1 of our members moving out of Tigard, and the 3rd resigning for personal reasons. In October, the city recruited for new members through the city's website, Facebook, Twitter, the Reader Board. We received 13 applications for the committee, and in November, Councilor Newton and I interviewed 11 applicants. Based on those interviews, we're recommending longtime resident Connie Ramekers be reappointed to the committee for a 4-year term. We're also recommending 4-year appointments of local business owner Dr. John Chung and community member Amber Nielsen. Both of these people would be new to serving on a city committee, which would be nice. This concludes a staff presentation, and I believe all 3 potential committee members are here this evening.
Well, that is awesome. And committee or soon to be hopefully committee members, normally we will act and I will then hand you a Tigard pin and call you up and congratulate you. That's obviously not going to happen tonight virtually, but we will make sure that the city manager sees to it that you receive your Tigard pin from me in the mail after we act on this, and we'll also give a moment for you to introduce yourself after we act on this. So I hope you are all here, and just be prepared to say a word or two if you'd like. You certainly don't have to, but at least want to say hi and thank you for participating in the community. So council, is there a motion or any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, this is Councilor Newton, and before I make a motion, I'd just like to say we had an amazing pool of candidates. I was so excited about the people that expressed an interest in serving on that committee. Many of those individuals had interest in other committees and were appointed to other committees or recommended for appointment to other committees. What Director Robinson and I looked for was diversity, to complement diversity of our existing committee members. And so I really think we're going to have a great committee moving forward. And so with that, I'd like to move to approve Resolution 2101.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. City Recorder, please read the number and title of the resolution.
Resolution 21-01, a resolution reappointing Connie Ramekers and appointing Amber Nielsen and Dr. John Chung as members of the Committee for Community Engagement.
And City Recorder, roll call vote.
Councilor Shaw,
Yes.
Mayor Snyder,
Yes.
Councilor Goodhouse,
Yes.
Councilor Newton,
Yes.
Council President Liu.
Yes.
All right, resolution number 21-01 is adopted unanimously. And let's do some quick hellos. Connie Ramekers, are you available?
Yes, I am, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight, to see your faces. I am very honored and feel very privileged that both Liz and Nadine recommended me to continue on the committee. I am a longtime fan of the city of Tigard. I've lived here for over 40 years now and feel very honored to be able to serve, especially with our members of our council now. I'm excited for Heidi and also for Jeanette. And again, I look forward to serving and helping and making Tigard even better than it is.
Thank you, Connie.
Thanks, Connie.
Amber Nielsen, are you available?
Yes. Well, I'd like to say the same things. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I do look forward to being a part of this situation and hopefully hope to learn a lot. As they had mentioned, as Nadine had mentioned, I've never participated in any of the public administration of Tigard before, but I look forward to it, and I think it's going to be a fantastic experience. Thank you.
Thank you for stepping up, and we really appreciate when residents that have not been that involved in the past with the city necessarily step up. So thank you very much. And last, Dr. Chung, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Good to hear from you.
Well, yes, thank you. Good to hear from you too, Mr. Mayor, and Happy New Year to everyone. I appreciate and I'm very honored to be selected and to be picked to help. And I'm just looking forward to being part of a big group that will move Tigard forward. Being a business owner there, I'm really looking forward to helping and investing in Tigard for a long time. And so I'm just very excited.
Well, thank you for putting your name in the ring, and we really appreciate your willingness to participate. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on to our next agenda item, which is a quasi-judicial public hearing considering an ordinance approving the Reitman Annexation. I'm going to open the public hearing. City Attorney Rahala, do you have the hearing procedures for us?
I do, Council. Good evening. This is a quasi-judicial land use proceeding. Council's decision must be based on the following substantive criteria. Tigard Community Development Code Chapters 18.710 and 18.720, Comprehensive Plan Goal 1.1, 11.1, Policy 4, and Goal 11.3, Policy 6, Goal 12, Goal 14.2, Policies 1 through 4, Regional Metro Code, Chapter 3.09, and Oregon Revised Statute, Chapter 222. Testimony, argument, and evidence must be directed toward the relevant approval criteria described in the staff report or other criteria in the plan or land use regulation that apply to the decision. Failure to raise an issue clearly enough so that council understands and can address the issue precludes an appeal to LUBA on that issue. Failure of the applicant to object to a condition of approval may preclude an action for damages in circuit court. Members of the City Council will be asked whether they have any conflicts of interest. If a council member has an actual conflict, the council member cannot participate. Council members must declare any contacts about this case with a member of the public. Council members must also declare if they have independent knowledge of relevant facts, such as from a visit to the site in question. A council member who describes ex parte contacts or independent information shall state whether the contact has impaired their impartiality or ability of the member to vote on the matter. After the discussion of conflicts and ex parte contacts, any person may challenge the participation of a council member or rebut any statements made. The council member in question may respond to such a challenge.
Thank you, City Attorney Rahala. Councilors, does anyone have a conflict of interest, or has anyone had any ex parte contacts about this matter? Okay, I see head nods no. Assistant Planner Smith, staff report.
Good evening, councilors. My name is Lena Smith. I'm an assistant planner in the Community Development Department, and tonight I'll be presenting on the Reitman Annexation, and I will share my screen. So tonight's proposal is to annex a 0.75 acre property located on the west side of Southwest 133rd Avenue into the city of Tigard. The property owners request to annex in order to connect to city sewer. There is an existing sewer lateral located in the front of the property in Southwest 133rd Avenue, and the city sanitary system has adequate capacity to serve the subject property. As outlined in the staff report, the proposed annexation meets the applicable requirements of the Tigard Community Development Code, Tigard Comprehensive Plan, Metro Code, and state statutes. Additionally, the Tigard Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval of this annexation to City Council. This concludes the presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Let's move, just quickly, we'll check Councilor Shaw, just as a heads up. This is a point where we sometimes get, the whole council gets a little sideways. So I will direct us to ask questions, not deliberate or make decisions at this point. So are there questions of staff at this point? Okay, we'll move on to public testimony. Written comments were due by 4:30 p.m. this afternoon. City Recorder Krager, did we receive any comments?
Mr. Mayor, we did not.
All right, anyone wishing to testify via phone can call 503-966-4101 and be put in the queue to speak. We'll give that a few moments. Mr. Nolop, was there anyone already in the queue to speak on this?
No, nobody is in the queue at this point in time. I will let you know if anybody calls in.
Okay. And just as a further reminder for those that may call in, this is also your opportunity to challenge the participation of a counselor. So if you are concerned about that, this is your opportunity. Again, you may call in to 503-966-4101. Mr. Nolop, one last check. Do we have any callers in the queue?
There are no callers in the queue.
All right, Ms. Smith, there was no testimony, so I assume no response to testimony from staff.
Correct.
I will close the public hearing. And we can now consider ordinance number 21-01. Comment?
I move to resolution number 21-01.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. City Recorder, please read the number and title of the ordinance.
Ordinance number 21-01. An ordinance annexing one parcel of land totaling approximately 0.75 acres and one half of the adjoining Southwest 133rd Avenue right-of-way, approving the Reitman Annexation, DCA 2020-00002, and withdrawing the property from the Tigard Water District, Washington County Enhanced Sheriff Patrol District, and Washington County Urban Road Maintenance District.
Thank you. And then City Recorder, roll call vote.
Councilor Shaw.
Yes.
Mayor Snyder.
Yes.
Councilor Goodhouse.
Yes.
Councilor Newton.
Yes.
Council President Liu.
Yes.
All right. Ordinance number 21-01 is adopted unanimously. And to the Reitmans, welcome to the city of Tigard.
Can I make a, Carol, can I make a clarification? Did I say resolution or ordinance? I just wanted to clarify that. I don't know if it matters. I just don't want to mess that up.
You know, I don't know which you said, but that's what we were voting on, was that ordinance.
I was listening pretty carefully, and I think you made the proper motion. Did anyone hear it differently? No.
I think he did say resolution, but it was clear what was voted on. The title was read, so I'm comfortable that the motion was okay.
Thank you, City Attorney. All right, we'll move on to item number 8, a legislative public hearing. Consider an ordinance amending Tigard's Municipal Code Section 5.04.110 for a business license support program. And I will start by opening the public hearing. Anyone that wishes to testify will be allowed to offer testimony. Written comments were due by 4:30 p.m. this afternoon, and those wishing to testify via phone can call 503-966-4101 to be put in the queue. Staff report from Economic Development Manager Purdy.
Good evening, Mayor Snyder and Council. As the Mayor just mentioned, I'm Lloyd Purdy, the city's Economic Development Manager, and I'm here to recommend first your consideration and ultimately passage of an ordinance that will amend the Tigard Municipal Code to allow us to create a limited, one-time business license fee waiver for businesses that first complete a training with one of our business advising partners. We discussed this in early December. We reviewed the partners we would be working with. We reviewed the mechanics of how this program would be implemented. So this is your chance to review the ordinance that was attached to the agenda item. It's a chance to ask me any following questions, and then we can proceed with creating this program. So that's my cue to ask for questions, and if there are none, encourage you to adopt the ordinance.
All right, so any staff questions of Mr. Purdy? Then we're going to take public comment. All right, I am seeing no questions. Ms. Krieger, did we have any written public testimony?
We have none.
Mr. Nolup, are there any callers in the queue to testify?
Mr. Mayor, there are no callers.
All right. I will close the public hearing. We'll now consider ordinance number 21-02.
I move to approve ordinance number 21-02.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. City Recorder, please read the number and title of the ordinance.
Ordinance number 21-02. An ordinance amending Tigard Municipal Code, Chapter 5.04.110 regarding a business license fee waiver.
And before we vote, I just want to reiterate that I continue to support, and I am glad that we as a council are continuing to support our business community in every way that we can think of, and this is one more of those ways. So, City Recorder, please conduct a roll call vote.
Councilor Shaw,
Yes.
Mayor Snyder,
Yes.
Councilor Goodhouse,
Yes.
Councilor Newton,
Yes.
Councilor Lee.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance number 21-02 is adopted unanimously. All right, the next item on the agenda is for the council to receive a training on employment law. Director Bennett, I believe that this is directly preparing us for our next round of interviewing process for the city manager, correct? Just for the public who's wondering why we're getting a training on employment law now?
That would be correct in terms of the timing of this.
Okay.
All right, so let me share my screen here real quick and we'll get underway. Can everyone see that? Right. So this is just, we're going to go through this pretty quick. If you have questions, please ask them at any time or ask them at the end. We're going to cover, well, I'll go to the next slide. We're going to cover categories of protection under the law, what it means to discriminate against an employee, COVID-related potential discrimination, and what it means to discriminate against a candidate. And so, well commented, Mr. Mayor. We're doing this in part because you're gearing up to do city manager interviews and with any luck make a job offer to a new city manager. And so I thought it'd be good if we could all get off to a great start. So areas of potential violation would include discrimination against someone based on race, religion, national origin, age, including retirement, color, sex, disability, or genetics, as well as protected leaves, which would include FEMLA, OFLA, and Oregon sick leave, federal USERA, as well as Oregon Veterans Preference, which is military service protections, and then the Oregon Equal Pay Act, which would be discriminating against someone based on pay, which is really about basing someone's pay based on one of those other factors. So that's just a quick part of that. So what does it mean to discriminate against an employee? It's about making employment-related decisions or recommendations based in whole or in part on a protected status. Employment-related decisions are everything from hiring to termination, job assignments to project or team opportunities, promotions, job locations, time off, training, etc. And there are exceptions, however, under ADA where specific differences can occur. So basically anything where there's a potential to move someone ahead, an opportunity at work, if a decision is based on a protected class, either negatively or positively, that can be an act of discrimination. So where are we covering this today? Well, first of all, there's been updates to the law, particularly the Oregon Equal Pay Act, but also I've heard a couple comments over the past, well, particularly in the last 6 months, that tells me it was time for a refresher. So I did this same training for the leadership team at Tigard, I want to say mid-November, just before the holidays hit. So let's cover a little bit about what would be discrimination. So if you make any kind of decision based on an underlying health condition, that can be a perceived disability under ADA. Retirement reference. So we have an aging workforce at Tigard, maybe less so now than we did 5 years ago. We've seen some turnover, but asking someone about when they plan to retire, inferring someone will be retiring when they haven't given notice can be a form of age discrimination. In general, comments made about a person regarding their protected status can be discriminatory. Age, race, color, religion, disability, etc. Anytime you're categorizing an individual by their protected class, you have the potential of discriminatory behavior. Concerns for ability to do a full job or duties following an accident or surgery, despite a clearance from a doctor, can also be a perceived disability discrimination. So sometimes we get situations where an employee has returned to work following, say, back surgery, and supervisors, out of concern for the staff person, don't want to put them back to their physical job just yet, and they're concerned about a re-injury. And so we have to work with them just to emphasize that if the doctor has given them a full and complete return to work, knowing what the job is, then you have to trust the physician and trust that the person's ready. So COVID has been something that's really brought all of this to the forefront. Staff with underlying health conditions, supervisors have asked, how can we help them? Well, when you're assuming there's an underlying health condition, you're already in trouble, and it's a perceived disability. So we can't make assumptions about people. If there are outward symptoms or documentation, such as a medical or health condition that's documented, then I always suggest that you refer those things to HR and not have a discussion as the employer. I also highly recommend that you not speak with other supervisors or managers about a perceived health condition of an employee. Please call HR. That's the theme in this slide. And then when we accommodate a staff member, we're barred from disclosing that to other staff members. And that can be a really artificial situation that's fraught with concern. Maybe an employee has received a preferential a schedule or some kind of accommodation, and other employees are wanting to know why person X got it and not person Y. So that can be an area that's a challenge for staff at Tigard. So I'm just going to cover this real quick. I know most of this probably won't apply to council, but I think it's good for council to be aware of what we're telling our managers and supervisors and how we're dealing with these issues. Sometimes things end up at council that maybe shouldn't, but I'd like council to know what we're telling folks. So what can we say about health conditions and accommodations? Really only what the employee has specified. So sometimes an employee will say, this is going on with me and I'm okay with, the rest of the leadership team knowing. In that case, then you've been authorized by the employee to share. So when responding to other staff about perceived special treatment, when you have not been authorized, however, whether it be schedules or what have you, we just really encourage people to emphasize that it's a private circumstance. We ask people to respect other staff's privacy, but we cannot tell someone we're doing it because of an accommodation. We cannot tell someone we're doing it because of a health condition. You can say things like, I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to share that information with you, and just ask them to respect the privacy of their coworkers. And most of the time that works. It can be pretty awkward when there's a really apparent situation going on and a staff person asks out of care and concern, but we really can't talk about other people's health conditions unless they have specifically stated that we could or given us specific guidance around that. So the part we really care about, well, what we care about for this week anyway, is discrimination against candidates. So if you're making a selection decision or a recommendation based in whole or in part on a protected status, that's discrimination. So scoring an applicant lower as a result of a protected status would be problematic. This can occur due to biases, which are generally based on prior experiences and are often unconscious on the part of the evaluator. We will go over some bias training before we do the interviews on Friday. The impacts of bias can be reduced through awareness, which is one of the reasons we do training before we do interviews. HR typically runs a brief video and then talks about bias prior to each interview with any interview panel. This helps to reduce the bias factor and just raise awareness on the part of panelists. We actually did that this morning as leadership team had interviews this morning. As an evaluator, all notes and written in conjunction with an interview should always be job related and linked to the candidate's ability to perform the job. Notes are discoverable and should there be an issue later. So that's always important to remember. Discrimination against candidates when they are evaluated low. So perception that a candidate would not be able to handle the physical aspects of a work given their age, weight, limp, or other observable attribute can be age or disability discrimination. A perception that a candidate is too old to adapt to a new technology or innovation would also be age discrimination. Concern about the impact of balancing distance learning for their young children and how that would impact their work. That would be discrimination based on protected leaves. And then a perception that a candidate is not a good fit. That's a big one. HR people no longer like the word fit when you're talking about candidates for a position. So when you think someone might not be a good fit, might not fit well with the team, it's really important to always ask yourself why. And our theme is, if you can't document it, you can't rate it. So it's very often fit. People don't realize it is actually their unconscious bias at work. And so it's important to evaluate in your own head about why is it you perceive someone isn't a good fit, and ask yourself, you know, is that something I can document? Is there something they said, something they did, something in their background that concerns me? So just make sure that it's something you can document. So interviews, do's and don'ts. No questions that would seek to elicit a candidate's protected status. No follow-up questions that would seek to clarify a candidate's protected status, even if the candidate alluded to it in the response to their question. If a panel member asks a follow-up question that's related to protected status, as politely as possible, interrupt the candidate and redirect the conversation back to job-related information. If a candidate raises a protected status, such as disability or health condition, the panel should quickly redirect the conversation back to specific job-related information and let the candidate know that such information can be followed up with HR. HR will do any follow-up after the interview process is over. So that's my super quick what to do and what not to do. And now, you're welcome. Are there any questions?
Council? I'm going to go through everybody one by one. Youth Councilor Calderon, any questions?
No questions. Good presentation.
Councilor Shaw?
No questions. Excellent presentation. Thank you, Dana.
Councilor Goodhouse?
No questions. I was just going to point out that not only the city manager interviews will the council be doing, but then we also have interviews for the city judge coming up as well. So those listening, you know, we'll have another round of those coming up as well.
Council President Lube?
No questions. Thank you for the refresher, Director Bennett.
Councilor Newton?
No questions. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Councilor Shaw? Did I hit you already? I'm sorry.
You did. No questions. Director Bennett did an excellent job. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Director Bennett, thank you.
Thank you all.
All right. We will move on to non-agenda items, which we do not have any. Administrative report. Interim City Manager Nyland.
Good evening. First of all, Happy New Year to everyone. Congratulations, Council President Lube and Councilor Shaw. Please let us know how we can help you in this new role of yours. We're excited to have you on the team and are eager to help you be as successful as you can be. So I do have an administrative report tonight. First off, I wanted to start off by just continuing to address the process improvements that are underway throughout the city. Our most recent effort really focused on the Tigard Aid program, wanting to make that program as easy and as accessible as possible. We kind of conveyed a team and did a forensic on it. And the result of that is we discovered that 4 forms were being used for people to fill out and utilize the program. So we reduced that to 1 universal form, making it easier for what we hope community to navigate the program. It's a great example of taking a human-centered design approach, which we hope to continue throughout the city. Wanted to let you know, in case you didn't, that the most recent city report card was released and posted on our website on December 30th. And it'll also be included in the upcoming Tigard Life, as well as in the upcoming utility bill that goes out in a couple weeks. Tigard Cares Round 5, we've committed over $900,000 federal funds to Tigard businesses, and funding was committed before the end of the 2020 calendar year, and that fund should be distributed in the next 5 to 10 days. So we're eager to get help out the door. Library update, kids, teens, and adults can now pick up the Take and Make bags during library takeout hours, which are Monday through Saturday, noon to 5 p.m. And these kits are customized for each age group and have supplies and instructions to complete a creative project. And we are asking that 1 kit per person every 2 weeks. Please. Gonna be polite about it, but please. Also wanted to let you know that Family Storytime is back with story, songs, and funs on Facebook Live beginning today. Storytime meets on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. and on Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. And you can find more on the Tigard Public Library Facebook page. An update on the Fano Creek Trail alignment. That study closed on December 31st. So if you didn't have New Year's Eve plans, it was a great way to log on and take part in that survey. We got a total of 900 visitors to that site, and about 120 of them completed the survey, giving us their thoughts about what they're looking for and really looking for those connections and alignments. As Councilor Goodhouse mentioned, we do have a municipal judge update. Thank you, Council President Lube and Councilor Goodhouse for participating. 8 candidates were interviewed for this week, and we had a really great group of candidates with a varying experience and various philosophies. 3 candidates will move forward to the full council for the next stage of interviews. We have time reserved on the January 19th meeting as well as the January 26th meeting for further interviews. Because of COVID, we have reimagined the holiday version of Tigard Walks. If you remember, in 2019, we had over 1,000 people participate in that Tigard Walk event. So we re-envisioned it and offered a route online, and interested people could click online, and as a result, they would get a coupon for a free cocoa, and over 675 people took advantage. So it was really successful. So kudos for Joanne and staff for really making that event fun. Community members took the walk and sent us photos. So we have a little collage online of all the festive homes being decorated. It was a great success. And just to end off, I wanted to recap what we'll follow through on. So the 2 public comments that we received about COVID and homelessness, we will make sure those get routed to the proper departments to take that information and forward responses. And yet again, we will be forwarding the city pins to our new appointees for the Community Engagement Committee. You have my word. Those will get delivered. So that's it for me.
Thank you, Kathy.
Of course.
Any council members have any comment or follow-up on any of that? All right. We do not have an executive session. There's no further business. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Mayor, I just thought of one thing real quick. Since we went through a training for the city manager interviews we'll be doing, I'd like to let people know watching that you can go to social media or the website and look at the interviews the mayor did with the 3 finalists for city manager and give input on those as well.
It's an excellent suggestion. If you want to have input and you're a member of the community, that's a great way to do it. Director Bennett, how much longer will we be taking those comments, by the way? Is there a cutoff deadline on that?
I don't know if there's one posted. I was assuming we would do it through sometime tomorrow. So I will be compiling notes for council tomorrow, and if we get some stragglers after that, I'll just send them on.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there a motion for adjournment?
I move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Been moved and seconded. City Recorder, roll call vote, please.
Councillor Shaw,
Yes.
Mayor Snyder,
Yes.
Councillor Goodhouse,
Yes.
Councillor Newton,
Yes.
Council President Lou.
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Congratulations again.
Thank you, Mayor. Good night.
Congratulations, guys.